Good morning. It is Friday, July 9th, 2010, and I'm going to take a break from the series I'm doing on the Fed. I've got two more videos I want to do on that, and if you missed any of the previous ones, you can go on my channel and check them out. But I have to make a quick video on this recess appointment that Obama has made for this guy named Donald Berwick for administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Basically, you've got this bureaucratic position that needs to be filled, this position that would take charge of Medicare and Medicaid. Pretty big position with lots of important decisions to make. And Obama was originally going to go through the Senate confirmation process. And then all of a sudden it became clear that this was going to be a tough battle for him because of controversial comments that Berwick had previously made. For example, Berwick, when asked about healthcare, said, about healthcare rationing, he said, quote, "It's not a question of whether we will ration care, it is whether we will ration with our eyes open." So he's saying rationing care is inevitable. The question right now is the government going to keep its eyes open? What does that mean? That means, will the government consider old age and maybe deny services based on someone's age? Will they deny services based on this or that? It's it's frighteningly similar to eugenics, honestly. I mean, if you look at some of the early 20th century propaganda that came from either fascist countries or Western European countries that were entrenched with eugenics, they always talk about rationing things like healthcare based on age, or discriminating based on that. So he made that controversial comment, which should frighten anyone who's watching this video who's close to retirement age. Do you really want a guy heading the Center for Medicare and Medicaid to say that it's inevitable we're going to ration care? The question is whether we're going to ration with our eyes open. And then finally, he also said, of course, this has been in the news everywhere, a good health care plan requires that we, quote, must redistribute wealth from the richer among us to the poor. So this guy made a lot of controversial comments. Now, you might be watching this video and say, yeah, that's not a big deal to me. But still, Obama was going to go through the Senate confirmation process and decided not to because he knew that was going to be a tough battle. So what does he do? When the Senate's on recess, he just appoints him anyway, completely skirting around the U.S. Congress to make this appointment. It is unbelievable that he can get away with these things. Congress has become... I don't even want to talk about healthcare right now. Let's talk about the separation of powers in this country, the Constitution. Congress has become a weak, just lapdog who puts up very little resistance against the White House, whether it's the Obama White House or the Bush White House. In the last 10 years, we have seen an enormous expansion in the power of the executive branch. And our founding fathers never intended for the executive branch to be the most powerful branch. Actually, on the contrary, they wanted the executive branch, they intended for the executive branch to be the least important one. Article 1 is Congress. Congress is supposed to be the lawmaking body. We're not supposed to have executive decrees, executive orders, violate the Constitution. Recess appointments, violate the Constitution. But the executive branch has way too much power right now. And it didn't begin under Bush. I mean, it's been a process that has been ongoing for the last 100 years. You can't really pinpoint one person. But it's just out of control right now. And so because the executive branch has all this power, Obama doesn't rule by just blatant dictatorial decree, but we're starting to see the bureaucratization of lawmaking. Lawmaking is no longer, and decision-making is no longer made in the halls of the Senate or in the House of Representatives. It is made in these giant bureaucracies that are not responsive to the people. Okay, another argument against too much executive power. Who do I call who do the citizens redress their grievances to? How do they do it if the executive branch and all these bureaucracies are making the decisions? If the Senate passes a law I don't like, I can call my senator, I can harp on him on the phone or her on the phone, and let them know that I strongly disapprove of a law or such. But who do I call at the White House? I just can't call the White House and tell them that I'm angry with this appointment of Donald Berwick. It's just happened, and there's nothing we can do about it. Obama said it so Congress is just gonna sit back and let him run the country. The Supreme Court won't do their job and won't declare things like this unconstitutional. So the Supreme Court isn't exercising its duty to check the power of the executive branch, and we've seen this huge expansion. And if you're watching this video and you're a Democrat or you support Obama, let me ask you this: when Bush was doing these kind of things, you all were, rightly so, screaming at the top of your lungs about how the executive branch is too powerful. Obama gets in office and he expands executive power, and you have no problem with it. Now, yeah, I don't know. I'm just frustrated right now. I don't even have my thoughts organized. But we have to be on guard against this. There's a reason why the executive branch was supposed to be weak, because our founding fathers had gone through a tyrannical system of government in Britain, and we had experienced absolute monarchs in the 18th century were very popular. We didn't have an absolute monarch in England, but we knew the danger of that. We knew the danger of having a king or an oligarch making decisions by decree, and so we deliberately try to make the executive branch weak. And we're seeing that deteriorate. Anyway, call your senator and ask him or her why they're letting the president do this. Demand that your senator hold the president accountable, exercise its duty to check the power of the executive branch, because this is out of control. George W. Bush did it, and a lot of my viewers, y'all might have supported President Bush. A few of you might have, and you did so for various reasons. And a lot of Bush supporters among the civilian population had good intentions. I mean, they're not bad people, they genuinely thought what they were doing was right. But now we're starting to see that this was a dangerous trend, because if you when the Republicans were in power and Bush had all of that executive power, the Republicans were fine with it. But then a Democrat comes in office and he has that same power, and now we realize, oh wait, nobody should have that power. I don't care who it is. If Ron Paul was elected president, I mean, you guys know how much I like Ron Paul. I wouldn't want Ron Paul to have this kind of power. I would be furious if Ron Paul started making decisions like this and expanding the power of the executive branch. It doesn't matter who's in office, what party they belong to. You don't want to set this dangerous precedent of power. And Democrats, someday your man won't be in the White House, and someone you don't like might be in the White House. And what are you going to do then? You're going to start screaming about executive power again? Let's be consistent. The executive branch should never have this much power. Anyway, I'm ranting and sort of repeating myself. Those are my thoughts, and I will see you guys later. Bye.